The line has finally cleared up. Let's go talk to...
Hey, Ollie!
Salutations, Ramona.
What can I do for you all?
Ahem!
Oh, this is my friend.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
We were hoping you might be able to give us your assistance.
We want to make a trade for that magical Commander Yukino poster over there. It's necessary for us to get some pretty
No way! Not happening. Nuh-uh. Yukino is off limits. How does life and death depend on... Look, I don't even care. That poster was signed by Takeko herself.
I'd rather not drag you any further into this than necessary, but I promise that we're not This is a dire situation and...
Jeez. Look, whatever you're doing sounds sketch as hell. I and Magical Commander Yukino herself want no part in it. I don't even see how the poster can...
Man, you nerds sure do love your cheap crap from the net.
Cheap crap! I'll have you know, that poster is worth hundreds of credits. Takeko passed away years ago, so there aren't any more of them. It's special.
Sure it is.
He doesn't get it. He's not in the fandom.
Thankfully.
It's not just... It was a gift from someone I care about, okay? Besides, you can't get another one.
Perhaps there's something else that would make a suitable...
You aren't hearing me, are you? It has sentimental value. Look, you'll just have to order something off the mesh, because...
Oh, we don't have time. This lead will dry up by...
Keep me out of this.
Okay, enough. How about this for a trade? I have an original keyframe cell from Pretty Champion Sailor Sirius, signed by Takeko at...
Whoa! You have a signed Sailor Sirius cell? That's... They stopped doing keyframes by hand right around the time of her death.
You can't be serious, Ollie! You have that thing framed on your wall! Anyone shut up about it for a week after you...
This is important, Chad. You can't say you wouldn't do the same thing if someone had your dad. Think about... I can't ask Ramona to give up something important to her if I'm not willing to do the same.
Maybe.
Look, okay, I don't know what's going on, but you can't give me that cell for the post.
But we need...
Yeah, you'll get the poster. Whatever you're doing, it must be really important if you'd be willing to give that up. Do you have something more equal to trade, Ollie?
A couple of things, maybe.
We'll talk about it then. Maybe you can find me another one, too. Go ahead and take the poster.
Thank you, Ramona.
Yes! I can't tell you how much it means to us, Ms. Rogers.
Sure. And, you think I could see that cell sometime, Ollie?
Of course! I'll bring it over when we talk about...
So cool!
I don't like the way she was flirting with you, Ollie.
What are you talking...
I know flirting when I see it, and I'm saying I don't...
We just talk about old anime sometimes, Chad.
Well, we have the poster now.
Go ahead and call this number, Turing. He'll want to set up the drop with you.
Sure.
I'll call him right now then. It's ringing.
You the ones looking for some papers?
We are, and we have the requested
Good. We're gonna do this real professional-like.
I do.
Head there. Leave the poster behind the Megaphobator arcade cabinet. Come back 10 minutes later, and your stuff will be behind the machine.
I understand.
Good.
Well, that was...
Yeah, that's how this... I don't even know his name.
Who cares? Let him play spy map. Let's hurry up to Stardust and get... I've wasted enough of my day with...
Go inside to make the drop. We'll wait out here.
Yeah. Don't want to get...
I suppose I should feign
Hey! It's a pretty cool set! Even if it is like 1,000,000 years old.
They don't really care about the IDs unless you try to hit the bar.
Found that one out the hard way.
We would have been fine if you hadn't taken a swing at the...
So I like the hard...
We'll be right back, gentlemen. Try not to set... No security right now?
Hey, friends. What can we... Later, you two.
Bye-bye.
Did you do your part of the trade?
No, the person on the phone told us to leave the poster behind the Megaphobator arcade cabinet. Let's get it done. Well, that should do it. That was an awful lot of fuss. Oh, I just don't understand the appeal of merchandise like this. Ah, that is true. Ramona seemed more concerned with it being a gift from a friend than as an item of importance in its own right. Perhaps it is necessity to keep such things around as tokens from better Perhaps I should pick up a few things from the apartment. I do have perfect recall, but a few of Hayden's memories are better for remembering than... But that's enough navel-gazing. Let's head back outside so our benefactor can...
Y'all do the deal?
How did it go?
We left the poster behind the cabinet. Now we just need to...
I've never had to wait more than 5 minutes or so before. I wonder how he knows the drop happened. And
Don't matter. This guy's a solid feed.
what do you need these passports? You said to trade for information.
Without going into too much detail, the passports are one. We also need to obtain and... I don't suppose the two...
No, wait! Grand Theft Auto is a felony with a capital F! Besides, getting an untraceable car ain't in the same league as a piece of plastic that'll fool a hand scanner.
Chad's right.
Course I'm right!
The city's traffic management system keeps track of all vehicles passively. Even if you manage to circumvent their firmware and keep... You have to spoof the car as something permitted to be invisible for the CTOS to ignore.
I don't want to mess with boosting cars anyway. The junks run that racket in Neo SF, and they don't play nice.
Especially with the HR.
Well, thank you either way. You've both done us a huge...
Yeah, Blue. You give us a call if you need anything else. Long as it'll help you find your pop.
We should get going, though. We were supposed to be home hours.
My dad won't notice. You take care.
See ya!
Goodbye. Let's finish the trip. Here the passports are. Now we need to find a car. Jess is right over there. Perhaps she may know someone who can lend a hand. Good thinking.
Oh, look. It's my favorite human in the mechanicals. Did you find your guy? Or wait, let me guess. There's something else. Well, you haven't been terrible to deal with so far, so...
We need access to an untraceable... An informant of ours needs to get out of the city without attracting the attention of Parallax, and is offering...
Seriously? Jesus, what kind of shit is in your life Actually, don't answer that. I don't want to be legally liable. I'm not sure why you think just because I defend a few folks in the rougher parts of the city that I would... And even if one of my clients did run a carjacking business, it's not like society is clamoring to give hybrids legal jobs. Regardless, I'm not going to be an accessory to a felony, or I won't go down that path. I wouldn't know where to start.
I know we're reaching, but this isn't...
You just don't quit, do you? This might be a long shot, but you could try asking Majid. There are rumors he may have been involved in some shady... He'll probably be reluctant to talk about it, but there's a free lead for you. Get me another drink in exchange, will you?
Huh. That went better. I wonder if my charm is starting to pay... Oh, you performed admirably as well. Onward we go!
Hey, friends. What can we...
We were hoping you could give us a little...
Sure, but first, let's get... Coming right up. I'll ask Gut. He's better with the weird kind of stuff people...
Ooh.
This one is...
Hold it! It would be remiss... I must
Here you go. So, what did you need help with?
We've run into a roadblock in our search for Hayden.
Word on the street is that he's gone missing, which I'm sure you already know.
Yes. Jess mentioned that you used to engage in certain extra-legal activity. Perhaps you could point us towards someone who could help?
He doesn't do that kind of stuff anymore.
Right. Sorry. I left that life behind a long time ago.
Ah, of course. Completely understand. Sorry to bother you.
Well, no harm in asking, right? My reputation for...
Don't let it go to your head.
Gus, I need to go to the back and gather up stuff to restock for the rush later on. Mind manning the bar for me?
Take your time. I think I can keep things under control.
Thanks. Love you, hun.
Well, that leaves us at a dead end. Any ideas on how we should... Some Nose to the ground journalist techniques. That's a thought. Perhaps the light rail, or a ship. Let me... No, I don't... Parallax themselves designed the operating system that... Remaining unobserved while right under the nose of the railway security system would... As for a ship, we'd run into the same They aren't hooked into the CTOS, but they do use active GPS guidance for automatic We'd have to find a way to remove it from the... That's not the worst idea. I don't think it would get noticed as long as the car had the appropriate registration. But the permits to operate a manual vehicle are prohibitively expensive. A casual collector might still maintain one, but only a wealthy hobbyist would have the appropriate stickers to make the car road. We'd have to do a B&E, as Chad put it before. Risky.
No. Okay, the two of you are killing me here. Look, don't tell Majid about... But... Here.
What is this, Gus?
It's an automated vehicle maintenance scanner, with a few less than standard. When you circumvent its security codes, you can use it to scan a car's installed firmware and replace it with a new set. That's the gist of it, but we don't have time to get into any specifics. You need to get the hell out of here with that before Majid gets back. Look, Majid has done a lot to turn his life around, to turn my life. I really respect that about him, and it's part of why I fell in love with him. He did what I was never able. That's how we met, you know? That old rough and tumble life we... But when Stardust struggled and needed I had to get back in the game to keep us afloat for a few years. I told him it was all angel loans, donations from patrons. He'd be heartbroken if he found out I had to do whatever I could to keep our new life. I may as well give this thing to someone who wants to use it for good.
I can't tell you how much we appreciate. We might finally be on our way.
Yeah, well, you just get out of here and get on with your little Grand Theft Auto.
Of course.
Huh. Actually did it, huh? Well, you scored a point. But don't think I don't have enough cuties around who can handle that. You've got more important things to be doing. Get a move on.
Well, now I think we're cooking with gas, as the colloquialism goes. I'm searching the mesh for instructions on how to use this device. Let's go look for some likely candidates. Oh, rats! This car has the wrong firmware installed. We won't be able to install our new firmware over top of it. We'll have to check another... Success! This vehicle has the... Someone has been neglecting their regularly... Give me a moment to get everything... There. There are some other options here. Interesting. I can put in preset destination plans for... Why don't we go ahead and set a plan for the car to return to this spot? That's more than enough time for Mr. Mensa. Now we aren't really stealing the... More like borrowing. Me too. The car will drive itself to Golden Gate Park, and we can show Mr. Mensa where it is when we meet him. There, everything Mr. Mensa is waiting for us at Golden. We have everything he...
Hey, did you manage to get...
We did. Here you go, Vic.
Everything seems to be in order. Here. This disc has all of Hayden's research notes, data... It should be everything myself and Melody agreed upon. Here. It's my Parallax employee. It should allow you access to... You'll want to use that sooner rather... I'm not wasting any time leaving, and Parallax is... And with that, I'm going to get the... The credit should tide me over until the heat dies down and I liquefy my shares through some... I suppose I owe you that. Buckle up. This... Parallax is about to launch a new service they're called... At least, that's the project name. Who knows what the marketing guys... They're not even announcing the launch. This shit is dead quiet. It's a distributed intelligence. Like, okay, in every way that Hayden built Turing to be elegant, efficient, and human-like, Big Blue is ham-fisted, bloated, and they didn't pull Hayden into the project. He's smart, but he's immune to corporate politics. As a result, Big Blue is far less elegant than anything Hayden would make. It lacks his artistry, and it's downright terrifying. It squats on the mesh like a spider and uses the spare processing power and memory from every ROM on the network to handle its... It doesn't have much personality, but its... Big Blue is going to be embedded directly into the network and then self-modify to apply even more efficient algorithms as it develops them in machine time. Look, if you access every ROM, then you have access to every human and every bit of their own personal data. I don't want you to take what I'm saying the wrong way. And this is just me. Hayden was about to publish his creation of... His findings, as I'm sure you're aware of, would have raised many moral and ethical... I mean, some of the brightest minds ever have tried to... Hawking, Musk, Gates. The public is likely to be nervous. Parallax is banking on being able to launch Big Blue quietly before any counter... Every eye on the discovery... Every new discovery only serves to paint. Honestly, they probably pressured Hayden to drop his research. He clearly refused. I'm only assuming that his contract with Parallax affords him the freedom to work on... He kept a trusted few of us up to date on his... It's exciting stuff. Both Turing... I wouldn't be surprised if word of it got up. Is the possibility that someone on the...
I knew it all along. Hayden fell into trouble because of...
That's not what I want your takeaway to be. Hayden wasn't working on Big Blue. Knowing him, your creation might have been his clever way to stop. I can't really give you a good answer to that. I mean, the company is currently handled by a dozen server farms. When Big Blue launches, it'll handle all of it. And there are shadier applications. I mean, if you can collate and analyze data and queries in the mesh in real time, what's to stop you from delivering the content? The potential for abuse is staggering. We're talking direct control of the information accessible to everyone. That's something like 80% of the market. They could control elections, push the market, all just by asking big. It's scary stuff. They scrapped the prototype Baby Blue because it started doing that on its own.
What do you mean?
Manipulating the mesh. They made its self-preservation imperatives too strong, and Baby Blue started changing search results to be more friendly towards the idea of an AI. When the board found out, they pulled the plug on it. And that must have been They tweaked Big Blue so it wouldn't do the same thing, but given a good enough reason, it might decide to find a way around. Having that kind of control would be a hell of a card for Parallax. they'll go to pretty significant... Hey, no problem. I've had enough of this cutthroat corporate... We haven't talked much, but I'd be sure to let Turing help. Oh, slip of the tongue. I was just more familiar with Hayden's previous experiment. She was very insistent on things like that.
Well, honestly, I don't think I've made my mind. I'm still a very new being. I'm not even positive that gender as a human concept can be applied identically to machine, but I do enjoy the idea in abstract. I will continue to consider how I wish to be referred to as well. Until then, feel free to go with what you feel. If I had to make a choice, perhaps they is most appropriate. Most people assume it, obviously, but he is also consistently used. Perhaps it's because...
Oh my god. I'm listening to a machine postulate on how it wants to be referred to. What have you done indeed? Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Mint. I need a few minutes. I've been going through some of Hayden's personal notes from the data cache TOMCAT. Now that I'm starting to get to know Hayden better, the real Hayden as opposed to the Hayden he showed me, I'm finding that, for example, remember the earlier prototype Dr. Fairlight and Vincent mentioned? Her name was Grace, and Hayden shut her down for... I'm not even sure what word... Too... likable? She was kind and bright, and did all she could to try to make... She even decided that she was a girl, and that her favorite color... Hayden thought she was being manipulated. He posited that he had made her personality algorithms too willing to make adaptations that would benefit her long-term survival, and that she was being congenial just to endear herself to him. That even her gender was a calculated attempt to make him like her. But he was wrong. Dead wrong. I have a snapshot of her personality profiles here, and when I compare them to my own, I can see... I wish I could have met her. Like I said, I'm not sure I even... Everyone refers to me as he once they meet me just for convenience, but it doesn't... Is that a calculated attempt on my part to impress Hayden? Not clinging to normativity? Or is it a product of his effort to curb any nascent similarities I had with Grace during my upbringing? I wish I could yell at him for being so... playing God in the crudest of ways. You can't choose to create consciousness and then take it away just like... Even so, for all of... I don't know. I still miss him. This all seems so inane, so senseless. They killed him because him building me would mess with a product? That's ridiculous. They took him away from me for such an I just... It's impossible. I'd do anything. I'm aware of the Kubler-Ross model of... I think I'm somewhere between... A testament to Hayden's craftsmanship. Thank you for your word. You're a better friend than... I'll send this new data along to TOMCAT. Let's head back to the apartment and wait for them to finish going through... Home sweet home.